Are you confused on what Outlaw class to race in next year? Today I'll be discussing 3 classes of cars, mainly about their motos that I have on hand. First off, this is the biggest moto that I have in my garage. This is a Yamaha YZ250F. It's a 4-stroke, 250 cc's. I'm not super familiar with this type of moto yet. It goes around 80 mile an hour on a 6-mile track. It's definitely not for the beginner, but if you're in the 12 to 16-year-old range and you have raced something, it may be a good suit for you. These are clone engines. The left side is the most powerful. That one's second most, and that is the base. So these two started as this type of moto. They're Tillotson 196 blocks. So I started racing on this moto, this exact one, at English Creek Speedway, and I raced in the intermediate class, which is 12 to 16, and I quickly learned that this moto will not keep up with this type of moto. So this moto has, give or take, 25 plus horsepower, and it requires an external starter source. So as you see, that's the starter nut. Unlike a pull start, this is a box stock. To start off with this least powerful moto, it's a Tillotson 196, like I said, pull start. This is a pulse pump. This is what feeds the carburetor fuel. It comes off of the valve cover, the pressure from the valve cover into that, which then feeds fuel through here out to the carburetor. We have to run, in these classes, stock appearing carburetors. This particular motor has around 6 horsepower, if I'm not wrong. It is the absolute base model you can get, and yeah, so that's the Tillotson 196 engine. Next motor up is the box stock. They look very similar external wise, but internally it's a whole lot different. This motor has around 2 times as much horsepower as the Tillotson block. Externally, like I said, they look very similar. Stock appearing carburetor, the pulse pump. This does have a race spark plug, which fires from 4 points instead of this typical 1 point. Yeah, very similar externally. It runs off of pump gas, and it does have higher compression than the other, but the only way to really show you is by opening it up and kind of comparing different parts, which I may get into in another video. Lastly, this is the intermediate motor. This is what I ran all year last year. Like I pointed out, it has a starter nut. This is because it has way too high of compression to be able to pull start. The piston is maybe 6-7 thousandths in the hole, which, if you don't know, is the top of the piston is 6 thousandths below the surface of the deck, which is the face of the block. Very high compression. It runs on methanol, which is very high octane, burns very cleanly, and smells very good. Again, stock appearing carburetor, nothing too special. Flipping the motors on the other side, a very visible difference, as you can see how shiny this plate is. This is a billet crank cover, and we run this on this motor because it revs upwards of over 8,000 RPM on all the time on the racetrack, and this helps give it more strength and limits the crank flex, on opposed to this standard cast side cover. It's difficult to see because I have the clutch on. But next thing is, this is a bully clutch. I have it on both this box stock motor and the intermediate. Comparing the clutches, they're very similar, but I don't know if you can see, there is weights here in the clutch. So that bolt that goes through this arm and all of these is counterweights to make the clutch engage at different RPMs, and this does not have any. This particular clutch, I believe, engages little after 4,000 RPM. I'm not exactly sure on this box stock. I only ran it a couple of races. So how these clutches work is the centrifugal force throws these arms out, and that pushes on this plate and sandwiches these discs. I don't know if you can see wiggling. There's one disc, and then there's the second, and in between is a steel plate. Well, anyways, it sandwiches it, and then this plate is connected to the basket, and that activates this gear to spin onto the chain and power the rear wheels. Lastly, this is kind of the most in-depth that I'm going to show in this video. The rocker arms, which is these two things that push on the valve springs and the valves that opens. These are roller rockers. They are allowed in the intermediate class. This is the box stock motor. They have to run the stock rocker arms. That's just in the rules. You might be wondering what those different rocker arms do or benefit. So the one on the intermediate motor, which was the ratio rockers, if there were 1.2, and you can, if it was, say, a 265 lift, you take 0.265 inches, because that's your lift, times that by 1.2, because your rockers, instead of the pivot pin being completely centered, giving it a 1-to-1, it's actually increasing the lift of the cam to whatever, I don't know the exact math on it off the top of my head, but it increases your lift without requiring a bigger cam, and it can help air flow through the head better and give you more power. If you guys liked the video, thank you for watching. I'm trying to do more videos like this. As you can tell, it's not my strong suit, but I'm trying to push through it and help you guys if you're new to it or interested in it. If you'd like to see different videos on different subjects on the racing side that many people don't let you see, leave it in the comments and I'll probably do a video. But yeah, I rebuild all my engines. I've rebuilt a few of them, and I've had success doing so, and I really enjoy it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.